Good evening, everyone. This is Lydia, 5 News UK, greatfan.co.uk. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you now. I mean, after my fall, I had hoped that I'd have a bit more communication. I chased up the NS nurse. She was on a holiday, but I'd spoke to someone in the interim, and she said, "Oh, I've been meaning to phone you," which is fair enough. But there wasn't. It was very vague. What she did say. What's happening with the community mental health team is, I suspect, I don't know for sure, that they will probably either close the case again, or I may even be left without a consultant. One of the problems with the community mental health team in my area is the lack of regular psychiatrists. They'll have a consultant, but what they don't have is anyone to manage the patient so that the patient has a proper working relationship with a regular consultant. From my point of view, that's causing huge problems because I've got 17 different medical conditions, physical, mental, etc., and a learning disability. And it's very hard, if you can't build up the trust to get to know somebody, to get the right assessments, to get the right help. I also will say that it's time for services to stop turning around to clients and making them feel unreasonable by not paying the service charges. If a client says, "Look, I don't want to go down the route of service charges," that should be respected. And what should happen is that they turn around and say, "Well, this isn't perfect, but this is what we can offer instead." And that alternative isn't there. The client is made to feel unreasonable by not paying a service charge. A contribution based on what they can afford. My family is dead, and I honestly believe that anyone who's not got any help that's available free at the point of need, at that point, if that is the case, then no service charge should be applied unless they've got savings of, say, 10,000 or more. But I mean, that's not me anyway. And I think that if anyone on benefits has to pay a contribution towards their care, they shouldn't have to, because it is not right. Their lives are hard enough without going down that route. And I should be able to say to these people, "Give me a list of what's free at the point of need. This is the option I'll go through," etc. That's the way it should be in my mind, if that's the route a client decides to go down. Now, there are those who say, "Well, if everyone did that, no one would go down the service charge route." Well, that might be true, but that should be the client's own choice. And also the way direct payments and independent budgets are worked out. I will say that the client doesn't seem to be able to have control, the level of control that government was saying would happen. How do I put this? They don't have the control over their own lives that should be the case. They can perhaps decide which agency they use, but how the support is structured, managed, etc., is all down to these experts who get it wrong. For example, I had a social services physical disability assessment, and I could have a wash, but I had to give up my hair wash twice a week. No thanks, social services. I don't want that. I don't deserve that. And I will not give up my hair wash of twice a week. I've got carers who come twice a week to give me a wash and to, wash my hair. And I'm not prepared to give that up. Over my dead body will I give that up? Now, that's fine if you've got mum, dad who can wash your hair. But when you haven't got that, then, as far as I'm concerned, service charges should not be applied. I should not have to pay twice for one agency to be doing me a hair wash and another one giving me a wash. It's not manageable. It's not on. These people should work together to find a holistic approach. And if I say, as a client, I want that holistic approach, free at the point of need, fine. That's the way it should be. If I had to pay a contribution towards it, that should be a separate thing. In other words, there should be a separate list of things that people are charged for and a list of things that are free at the point of need that may or may not make my life a bit more manageable. One thing the community mental health team is saying in my area is that I've turned down counselling. I've never turned down counselling. I want counselling. I need counselling. But it's easier for them to turn around and say, "Well, Lydia's turned down counselling," when she hasn't, because then they, save a few quid. I'm sick of this. I don't know what the future holds. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.